Hello, everyone. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Rachel.
And this is So I'm Watching Only Murders in the Building, Season 2, Episodes 5 and 6. Last week, we had a really bad thunderstorm, and power went out, and the internet went out, and it was out all night. And so we didn't get to do Episode 5, and then we just got busy. We both have jobs. Rachel works retail, so her schedule is a little more erratic. And so we decided to just do episodes 5 and 6 together, and fingers crossed we won't lose power and internet again for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to do this as chronologically as possible. So we're going to start with episode 5, and then we'll move on. So it's pretty good. It sort of opens with Mabel and Alice are on the phone together, and the studio space roof is leaking, and Mabel's walking around through the tunnels in the apartment building in the Arconia, and she basically finds the entrance to her apartment,
yes.
Which I think is what she was looking for. It seemed like what she was looking for to see what could be done about it. It's also a floor grate, a huge floor grate.
Yeah, and I feel like that would be something that you would notice.
Yeah.
If you were in the closet.
Right.
I feel like
a Selena
giant
a Selena Gomez shaped, sized,
yeah,
grate.
And the grate itself, if you have heels on, you're going to sink down completely.
Also, I just sort of again, how well insulated is this building? Because how are all these apartments not so drafty? How is Bunny's apartment with that elevator that goes directly to the outside not so drafty?
The only, like I said when we talked about it, it was
because she had the
the layer of the clothes and everything, so it would kind of suck it up a little bit. But Mabel's apartment is just open.
It is
so open. Just in the state of that apartment, I would feel like feel kind of drafty. I just would be just because of the type of person I am, I'd be like, that is a human-sized hole in my closet. Yeah. I don't like that.
No, not even a little bit.
No.
I would get a Hogwarts trunk style thing to put on top of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Load it up with books I don't read.
Yeah. The first time, when I moved back out by myself, the first night I slept with a door or a chair underneath the door handle on my front door just for the first night. And
also, who needs a vent that big in their closet?
Yeah, I don't. It's very odd. It's funny because it's we have Mabel who walks around with knitting needles in her bag, just in case. Yeah. And then she's got blind spots in really weird spaces.
Yeah. And
I'm glad that they keep calling out fingerprints, but it's just at this point, you guys should just be walking around with gloves in your pockets at all times.
That's the other thing too, is she climbs up back into her apartment, and then she notices the matchbook and she picks it up with her bare hands.
God.
Whatever. So anyway, she basically tells Alice that they can have this party that Alice has been planning at her apartment, because she doesn't really like being alone right now, and that'll be a good distraction. So that's great. We also flash back with Oliver, blessedly played by a different actor.
Yes, thank
him and Nathan Lane both. I think that it is remarkable how far we've come with computer graphics. That being said, just find someone who looks enough like Carrie Fisher to play Princess Leia in prequel stuff. Stop de-aging and pasting a weird young Princess Leia face on a random actress. I hate it. It makes me furious. Same with Mark Hamill. It makes me so mad. But again, blessedly, these are played by totally different actors. They both have a pretty good cadence down for Martin Short and Nathan Lane. And apparently it was Oliver's go-to to play Son of Sam as a party game. Sort of, if anybody out there, it's Secret Nazi or Werewolf, where you
And I've played neither one of those games, but I feel it's kind of
it's
Heads Up,
like
7-Up too.
Murder mystery party, yeah.
It's just, you just guess.
I hate those games.
Why?
Because they make you lie to your friends.
Oh, I think that's fun.
No, I hate it. We have friends who love board games, and they're like, oh my God, come on, we'll play this great game. It's called Secret Hitler. And I'm so bad at it because I don't know that I didn't know I need to lie when we played it. And I was like, I don't like this. I was like, there's this other little card game called Munchkin. And I was like, can we play that? Because it's collaborative. I want to play games where we're nice to each other. So
Well, in those type of games, you could play it where like you're being too truthful. Like you're such a bad liar. Like, and you just like overplay how honest you are. And then, cause that's how I always won at 7-Up, Heads Up 7-Up.
So I am a good liar when there are stakes. I'm not a good liar when there are no stakes.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
If there are no stakes, I'm tripping over myself. But if I'm telling a lie where there are stakes, I'm so good at it.
I mean, same.
It's my parents' fault.
Yeah.
I got in trouble once for lying when I didn't. Mm-hmm. And so ever since then, I got to be a way better liar. So they'd never know.
Yeah. And then me and my brothers all were going to get horrible report cards for our very last report card of the summer. And then we got the entire neighborhood of kids to lie to their parents that something happened at the Board of Education and there just aren't report cards.
Can't believe that.
Yeah, my dad told us that story.
That's hilarious.
So, yep, it worked.
Well, Doug Nutter is weirdly pro this YouTube channel, so he might know now.
He might. I'm going to high five for that one because he's going to be like, that was legit. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Anyway, that is like a kind of running thing throughout the episode. When they were really young in the 70s, they would play Son of Sam, and then it continued into their adulthood. We have a couple of flashbacks to the same party where they are playing it again, and it turns out that it's Teddy Demas is the Son of Sam in that episode, not the real murderer.
Yes. We know who that was, right?
I think we know who Son of Sam.
Okay. It's the Zodiac that we still don't.
Not technically.
Yeah. Got it.
If you've seen the movie, it's that guy. I'm convinced it's that guy. What I love about this show that's so interesting is that almost every episode gets a different voiceover character. And so in this one, it's Will, Oliver's son. And he basically is like, my dad's really good at telling secrets and like telling how you have a secret and what it is because everyone has a tell. It's a classic poker thing. And there's a really sweet scene of Will sneaking into the party in like the 90s, I guess.
Though longer than that.
Well,
it was like 20. So it's like 23
years ago was 1999. Shut up.
Should not be this old.
I
don't like it.
We also went out over the weekend for Will's birthday, and some of us might still be hungover. So
yeah. Speaking of 20 years, we did the math, and so this year officially is 20 years that I've known Will.
Nice. Yeah, I think we're like 23.
I don't feel like we are old enough to know people that long, and we were not babies.
Well,
like literal babies. We were in high school, middle school and high school.
Met Will when I was 13.
Middle school. Okay. So then high school.
Yeah.
This isn't about us. It's
whatever. Moving on. So there's a really sweet scene where like little boy Will like sneaks out of bed to like watch the party, and Oliver catches him and like goes back to the bedroom and is like, you know, how I figured out this is, you know, how you got out of bed is because of all these reasons. And I know that Uncle Teddy is the murderer because he has a tell. And I know that your mom is like not the murderer because she's relaxed because she ate cheese and all this stuff. And it's really great. And it turns out Teddy is the murderer. It's pretty great. It's really interesting. It's pretty great. I love these scenes with Oliver and Will because they're really sweet, especially when we get to the thing at the end of this episode. He's also helping him with the school play still, which is like apparently doing gangbusters.
Those costumes looked fantastic.
The costumes are great. Everyone's nailing stuff. Winnie is Toto.
So cute. It was a little basket.
It was very sweet.
Oh my God.
Very sweet. So yeah, it's all really great. And then Oliver has to leave because Mabel has found this matchbook. So they all get together and talk about that. It's a matchbook from the Pickle Diner, which we know that Bunny was going to a lot. So they decide to go to the Pickle Diner and talk to Ivan the waiter. And that gets some information, but like not a ton of it. Not enough information until Ivan comes back to Bunny's apartment to drop off the money that she gave him on that last day. And so Oliver basically goes back and is like, what's going on? And it's not like a huge thing. He's like, that's pretty suspicious. That's a lot of money. But Ivan, I don't think it's Ivan.
I don't think so.
No, he's too nice and he's like helping too much.
Yeah, I don't think so at all.
So he then basically they watch the security camera footage to see if there's anything on there. And it's like, I mean, it's just security camera footage. So, but Oliver's right. You like upgrade to something better.
Yeah.
And also the TV is in the kitchen. Like, is there no manager's office at this like pickle diner?
I know. That's very odd.
Regardless, they basically see Bunny storm away and leave. And then whoever it was is like facing away from the camera too. They get up, they walk out, they grab a matchbook and they leave. And so Oliver's very excited that that's like really interesting evidence or whatever. And it's in this episode where he's making the family tree, right? When Will's making, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like this one bit. Will's helping his son make a family tree. And basically, so the whole family has to take a DNA test. And the minute that they were like, we all have to take these, blah, 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 I was like, oh.
Yeah. I didn't feel great about that.
No, thank you. So it turns out he's probably not Oliver's son, like biologically. I mean, at a certain point, you're an adult and he's the man that raised you. And the man who's probably your father, Teddy Demas, is like a murderer and a grave robber. Who are you going to choose?
Yeah, no, you're definitely going to choose Oliver in that scenario.
Of course. But at the same time, it's like,
yeah.
Because basically Will comes over and he's like, so you're like 100% Irish, right? Because like my DNA came back and obviously all mom's stuff was like whatever. But then it says that my like the rest of it is Greek, like 100% Greek. And then that's when he's got like a tray of the Demas dips and he's like, ooh, shit. And then we see another flashback to the party in the 90s where like they're giving eyes to each other. So here's the thing for me. Do we know if the mother is dead? I thought she was still alive.
I think she's still alive. I don't think she's dead.
Okay. We
would never hear the end of it from Oliver, I think, if she were dead. Yes, because he would make it a very interesting
thing.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
William, talk to your adulterous mother first. What the hell? I mean, I guess it's possible it just didn't occur to him that that could be the issue.
Yeah.
But
because if you're looking at that, he's probably in denial about it.
Maybe.
And so he's like, well, maybe dad just doesn't know.
Sure.
And so then maybe dad will get it done and then we'll get the answer. Yeah, sometimes when it's in your face, you're like, but no, surely not.
Yeah, I get it. Ooh, it's rough though.
Yeah.
Like super rough. I don't care for it. It makes me really upset for Oliver and Will and the whole thing. I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah. Oh, and then it kind of like goes back to when Teddy is like, I'm going to fuck you, Oliver. You're not going to know when. You're not going to know how. Because I think Teddy knows. And so, but they probably, him and the mom have an agreement. And so it's, because he knows. So he's walking around with a live grenade in his pocket, effectively.
Bummer.
Yeah. Oh.
It's horrible.
I don't like it.
So the rest of the episode is basically Charles and Oliver are suspicious of Alice. It also comes out that Mabel is dating her, and Charles, he's
75.
He's 75. He also doesn't react poorly. He just sort of stumbles over it.
He just goes, oh.
Yeah. I think he's just trying not to keep saying stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's like, I just thought it was sort of cute.
Yeah. Well, it's also worth noting, too, that the reason why Charles and Oliver are suspicious of Alice is because Charles is talking to Jan.
Right.
And Jan's like, what
it's an artist
do you have? And they're an artist, blah, blah, blah. So that's why that they're like really setting their sights on Alice.
Yeah, Jan's doing a real number on Charles, too. We'll get more to that in the next episode.
Just stirring.
Love it. So this party, this RC party that they're having at Mabel's apartment, Oliver is like, well, here's a good chance to do a couple of things. And so he brings out the Son of Sam card game and they start playing it. And I don't know. I mean, Alice's whole vibe is super sketch, and specifically after episode 6. But she gets to a point where I'm like more suspicious of her than ever.
Yeah, same.
Because the fact that it's sort of like covering up your embarrassment or covering up your lying by embarrassing yourself so that you can like what was it? I read this thing it was about Fleabag, and it basically was like, what's interesting about her is that she is comically like open about her sexual stuff because she is so guarded and closed off with anything emotional. And the fact that she's so open about these very intimate parts of her life make it seem like she's an open person.
You're being too truthful, like I said in the beginning.
100%.
When you want to sell it, you be too truthful about something.
100%. So she basically is like, she admits all of this stuff about how she didn't go to Oxford and her parents are from Essex, but she neglected to do the accent, which I'm going to need Cara Delevingne to do an Essex accent at some point.
Like, I needed a babes in there somewhere.
Come on. But yeah, so she like admits all of that so that the, suspicion will go off of her anyway. Because also Charles and Oliver played their hand too early where they were like, we think that you're suspicious. And so she was able to like get just out of there. And I don't know how she got a second card, but like at the very end of the episode, we find out she was the son of Sam in the game.
So I was thinking about that, and I'm wondering if like she's got sticky fingers and she was able to like switch cards with someone.
Maybe.
Like,
in between.
Yeah, because I mean, they all have to put their hands in.
Sure.
But in the kerfuffle of something, you know, especially if someone was really into playing up their death scene, she grabs it when they're on their way down and no one's really paying attention to where the card is.
Yeah. Could be.
So
definitely could be. She also, I think it was in the 5th episode when they wake. Oh no, it's in the 6th one, but we're like moving towards that anyway. When she and Mabel wake up in the morning, Mabel's cooking her breakfast, which looks amazing, by the way.
I know, right?
And she is taking photos of the blood stain on the floor, which comes into play at the very end. But we will get there because it's the very end. Okay. Fucking, they've been getting texts from someone since the beginning. And they keep thinking that it's the detective, that it's Divine Joy Randolph. And it's apparently not. Because she's in Denver on maternity leave with her wife. And so only Michael Rappaport is in this episode. Kind of weird. He does sort of give it to Cinda Canning, though.
Yeah, which was nice.
Which I liked. But yeah, and so they realize that they are texting with probably the killer. Or at least someone super suspicious. So what do you think about Cinda Canning? Like, as a character?
I mean, I like her in that she is kind of every podcast host in the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
I mean, she sucks.
Yeah.
She's a bad boss.
Kind of a bad person, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, I haven't liked her since the beginning because she's tried to like mess with our heroes. But I mean, I think she's like fun to.
She's super fun to watch. And I kind of love watching Tina Fey chew this villainous scenery. It's pretty fun. But, whew, boy.
Yeah. I'm tired of the bad boss trope, especially when she like. I don't like how in a couple of these shows it keeps being like, I'm a woman in business and I would be a bad woman if I didn't bring up other women with me. And it's just like you bring them up to just shit all over them. Right. Like, I don't enjoy that part of it.
Watch Barry and our coverage of Barry. Yeah. Basically, Cinda and Poppy, her assistant, get called and Bunny, or to Bunny's apartment along with Charles and Oliver and Mabel for Detective Krebs, I think they said, to basically be like, stop releasing podcasts because we like are inundated with tips about like who to talk to. People want me to talk to the bird. I'm not doing it. Like, you have to stop. And I guess our people don't release anything, but Cinda does. She releases the next episode.
Yes.
Because they have this smoking gun of a guy that worked at Long John Silver's with Mabel, who I mean, Mabel has lied about things in the past, but not anything like this.
No.
And she basically just is like, he basically claims that she chopped off his finger. And she's like, he got a little grabby with me. And when I like resisted, he got his hand cut in the like meat grinder. And I'm just like,
yep. Sounds about white to me.
Sounds correct. Yeah. She also, Mabel asks Poppy to like kill the episode because like it's a lie, and also Cinda's not like gonna like helping or doing anything. And Poppy gets kind of roped into believing that Cinda's gonna promote her, even though she literally said, I normally don't consider promotions before 5 years. That's too long.
Entirely too long.
Way too long. Especially because she already is a producer. She's in the other booth producing Cinda's podcast. Ew. Also, picking out the cilantro from your buffalo chicken bowl.
Just order it without fucking cilantro.
Order it without cilantro, or stop eating buffalo chicken because it's disgusting. That's my 2 cents on that. Charles is also still filming the Brazos reboot. Looks real bad.
It does.
Real bad. Also offensive to people with dementia. I don't know about that. But we also meet, what is her name? His like hair and makeup person.
Oh.
What is her name? Oh my God.
Her name is...
She's not on the...
no, she is not.
IMDb. Andrea Martin. I was like, she's on Great News as well. So, yeah. So Andrea Martin is like his hair and makeup person, and she was on the old Brazos as well. And it's like a kind of meet cute. And it's basically kind of all a setup for Mabel and Oliver to realize that he is like sort of technically still dating Jan. Because as Jan put it, we never broke up, which is technically true.
Even though everyone's like, you tried to kill him. Yeah. Even Charles is like, but you
poisoned me and tried to blow up the whole building. And she just is like, she's so crazy.
Details.
Yeah, it's super details. And she's like, just so... Because he's like, are you insane? And she's like, legally, I wish. So good. Amy Ryan continues to delight. But basically, yeah, they just like keep going back and forth. And like once it finally comes out, he's like, I know I need to break up with her. And then when he's talking to Oliver, he's like, maybe I don't have to break up with her because we have Jane Lynch back.
I love her so much.
So she goes to the prison at the end of the episode to like break up with Jan for Charles. And she's like he's written her a screenplay to like do it, like a whole script. And it starts getting really sexual in relation to like her bassoon. And she's like, gets kind of porny down here. Is it working for you? And she's like, yeah. And then Jane Lynch is just like, well, then I'll keep going. It's a delight. Yes. It's super cute. I loved it. Well, Lucy's still there.
Yes.
She seems to be coming back on like weekends or something. Well, I still think she's never left, but she seems to be popping up at regular intervals. Oliver's really stressed about the
DNA test.
The DNA test,
yeah,
because
he goes to get his done.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm Greek. Absolutely, I'm Greek.
Yeah, sure.
There's no way that I'm not Greek.
But also, he's put off by Greek dips at the moment. And so Charles introduces him to the wide world of South American salsas. Hysterical.
It was very cute.
Mabel is really put out about the Jan stuff.
Yes.
She's really upset by that. And so she goes off on her own. That's the thing. They try to make a glitter bomb.
Oh, no, they did.
They do make a glitter bomb.
Succeeded at a glitter bomb.
In order to catch whoever keeps texting them to like just drop the evidence like in whatever park.
Because they put 2 and 2 together when Michael Rappaport says that Detective Williams is in Denver.
Yeah.
And so they're like, who the fuck have we been texting?
Exactly. So they do make this bomb, but while they're talking about all the Jan stuff and the father stuff, they like miss the bomb going off.
I was so mad. I was like, you guys.
He's on his ass for like a
hot
minute.
And like you guys didn't hear, it had C4 in it.
Just a nugget.
It was loud.
It was loud. It was
especially in a trash can. Yeah. It's loud.
So they miss it, and basically Mabel sort of sees, but the person runs away like through the park. And then, whoa, boy. Okay. Mabel after she's upset and they miss the guy, she goes to Alice's place. And it seems like they're doing the entire thing, like from teenagers to present. Because those people at the beginning were dressed like Tim and Chloe. Is it Chloe or Zoe? I don't know. The girl from
one of the two. There's an OE at the end.
She also sucked.
Yeah.
So And she's just like taking creepy photos. She's dressed up as Bloody Mabel. It's a whole thing. It's really gross. Mabel is rightfully, absolutely crazy pissed about it, as I would be too.
Had the mural on.
Oh, yeah.
The
She's
wall.
like recreated the whole apartment.
Yeah.
Which is why she was taking photos of the blood stain on the floor.
Yeah. And Alice was like, I was really going for like a photorealism type of situation. You weren't supposed to see it like this. Ew, I'm not supposed to see it at all. You fucking psychopath.
She lived it. It's gross.
Oh my God.
Super gross.
It just like, art is whatever, but like you don't get to put on someone else's trauma like a fucking
100%.
hat.
That's why I don't like art people.
Do your own shit.
Yeah.
Don't take someone else's shit. You know 100%. What I mean? Ugh.
Yeah.
Live in your own filth.
So Mabel is getting the subway home and she gets a call from Poppy, who basically is like, I know where all of Cinda's skeletons are buried.
Yes, because Cinda says to Poppy, like, you embarrassed me in front of Luis. Like, what was I supposed to say? Like, I'm not going to promote you.
Also, though, she does have a touch of good advice. Don't be too good at a job you don't want.
Yep. She said that and it was like, oh
no. Oh no. The mirror of
every job I've ever had.
Yeah.
It's because I'm so scared I'm going to get fired because I have a touch of the imposter syndrome. Yeah.
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 Who doesn't?
Yeah.
So basically she's like, I can't talk right now because she's still so upset. But I guess Cinda never graduated college. Her teeth are fake. All of this. She's like, tons of stuff. Like, I know that the like Jimmy guy was wrong or whatever, like all this stuff. So that's sure to come back. There's 4 episodes left. So that's sure to come back. And then Mabel sees the guy in black covered in glitter at the end of the train.
It was a really cool visual, the glitter that they picked on his
It was
shirt.
red.
It was really neat.
It's bright red. I really, really liked it because it's glitter, rubber cement, and a nugget of C4. So the rubber cement is probably making it stick worse. Here's my question. Take off your sweatshirt and your mask. Yeah. Then you're or turn your sweatshirt inside out.
Yeah.
Whatever. So anyway, Mabel sees him and we're like, ooh, oh my God. And then we cut back to Charles and Oliver in the apartment he's eating mango salsa and it's like
blowing his mind.
Yeah, mind blowing to him. He basically is sort of like, I kind of want a hug. And Charles is like, I don't really do that because he's still worried about the Will stuff. And he's like, okay, that's like fine, whatever. I'll just sit here. And then they both get like a notification to a video about.
I think Will sent it to him.
Was it Will? Yeah. Mabel has stabbed a man with her knitting needles on the subway. Not a good look, Mabel.
No.
Like, we know it's probably at least someone with information.
It was the guy.
No, I know, but like,
okay.
Worst case scenario, it's just someone with information.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, it's the actual murderer. But as I said, we have 4 episodes left, so I doubt it.
Also, ma'am, why are you willing to stab someone on the subway? Like, if he obviously was like coming towards her, but you were on a crowded subway car, you have your phone. If he was a smart criminal, he wouldn't do anything in public because of the exact thing that happened. Everyone's on their phones. It's going to go live and viral.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't quit being so stabby.
I agree.
Like,
the only thing I'll say is that now the police are going to come.
Yep.
If they're any good at their jobs, which we know they're mostly not, they'll catch him as well because they have to take him to the hearing. He's going to have to go to the hospital, some kind of hospital, regardless. Then Charles and Oliver hug. Sort of. They're just like touching.
Just
like, but barely like this, like touching like this. Yeah. I don't know. These 2 episodes were great. I actually also loved watching 2 of them in a row. It was like a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with
Do you have any new guesses about who it is? I still have no clue. None whatsoever.
I don't have any new guesses. Also, the way that Saz was presented in this episode, I'm leaning against that. That was a wild hair theory anyway, because I was just like, I could see it being like a thing, but the way she was presented in this episode, not so much.
Yeah.
Unless we're thinking that she's like meeting Jan's crazy by like reading this sexual letter to her. But that's I feel like I'm reaching. So.
Yeah.
My number one is still Oscar's dad, except for the fact that we haven't seen him again yet, like within the story, makes me feel like maybe no.
And then Oscar as well. I feel like it would be...
I think it's rude to make it Oscar. That doesn't seem to make sense.
Well, no, I'm not saying, like, I would think that if it were Oscar's dad, we would have more of Oscar.
Oh, of Oscar. Okay, I see.
Yeah, I have no idea. Because it can't be Charles's dad.
No, he's dead, I think.
Is he? I don't remember. But because I thought, I was like, oh, maybe. And nope, it wouldn't. I have no idea.
And Teddy or Theodemus doesn't seem to make any sense either. That's not the kind of fucked Teddy was talking about.
No.
So
this is much more psychological. I'm
way
going to take
more.
your son away from me.
Yeah, 100%. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'm very interested. Like I said, 4 episodes left. Barring any more acts of God, we will be here on time for the rest of them.
Yeah, I'm not for nothing. The lightning strikes have been insane.
We even had some today.
Yeah, that were too close for comfort.
Pretty close, yeah.
Just kind of like, I'm glad I'm home.
So yeah. Okay. Well, we'll be back next week.
Bye.
Bye.